Welcome to the Dan Brooks Show. This is Day Life Jesus. Yeah, you know, starting this thing off. Show's running late today. My watch. I woke up and my watch was an hour and 50 minutes behind. I woke up like many times during the night, or I woke up and it was like 8 a.m. and I like checked my watch. I was like, that's so crazy. Or it was showing as like really early, and I was like, doesn't feel early, but whatever. I was like, why is it? Why is this? Why am I like sleeping so much? So then, eventually, yeah, I just realized, and I was late because my watch was still telling me it was 9 o'clock, and it was 11:15. I was like, why am I? How is this even real? Like, why? So I just basically ignored my body clock and looked at my other clock watch, and yeah, it is not an old watch. There's no reason why it would be running late like that. Makes no sense. It seems to be synced back up. It's not going slow. It doesn't seem to be going slow. I'll see in 12 hours if there's been any difference. But literally overnight, my watch lost an hour and 50 minutes. Now, I have a lot of symbolism that this could be. Y'all can't afford that, but if you make a wash, um, you can, bro. You probably can. So make the wash, bro. Make a wash. Go ahead. Here's the link. Automat. Cash.me/$wash it all. Bit.ly/wash it all. Now, yeah, sure. My goal today is $840. Do I expect y'all to meet my goal? Not necessarily. But wash in any way you can, bro. Share the live. Comment. Attention works. Attention works. Obviously washing works. So let's do it. And sure, if I get $40, I may give you one of the symbols of this watch and how that applies to you as well. It's not all about me. I know, you're like, it's Jesus. It's all about him. It's not. It's not all about me. So, bro, but yeah, that started me off all weird. So now I'm kind of figuring the thing out a little bit more. Figuring the thing out. If it's any indication of where the stonks are currently, I'm starting to sell, starting to unfollow people. I'm starting to get them out of my view. It's a bear market, bro. It is a bear market. Now, anyone saying, I don't know, anything about positivity or trying to see the positive end of things, that's a person who's going bullish right now. And I would say that they are fools. Because the pay matrix going down. I mean, you'd think it would be more obvious, but it's going down, bro. It's going down. And the people in it, screw the big picture, man. Do I really need to talk about the big picture of the current events or anything like that? No. It's the people. People are making it run are having a crisis. A major crisis. So yeah, I'm bearish on all that. I'm starting to unfollow people. I unfollowed Cernovich. Couldn't take it anymore. But yeah. So why don't you share the live, comment, make it happen. getting a little bit environmentally triggered. I'm not gonna lie to you. So we gotta make this place. We gotta make this place pop. I gotta create a force field around this live and everyone in this live to get, you know, some protected time. Because right now, my environments, my where is turning on me. My when is turning on me. I also got Emily. She's like, oh, I wake up with a watch that's 2 hours behind. She's like, not even considering that all of this has to do with her being the when girl. So a lot of it really discombobulated me. I kind of see why the CIA goes into people's houses and like messes up all their objects and puts things in different places and like, you know, I get it now. I get why they do that, because just messing with someone's time like that really messes them up. And now it's kind of like making me aware, which is good, aware, my where. And yeah, I think I need a little bit of I think I need to put a protective energy around anyone who's watching or will watch or anything around this thing. So let me just extend that right now. I want you to understand the protection that comes with Jesus is immaculate. It's immaculate. Protection that comes with day like Jesus, it extends beyond the physical realm. This is my public process, except I'm not, using my mouth. Just trying to consider like everything that's going on. But while I think, while I give it a think, believe me, thinking for me is different than thinking for you, I believe. Cash.me/$washdoll, bit.ly/washdoll. Those are the links. Make a wash. My goal today is 840. That's my goal. Now I'm trying to get, come on. Why don't you wash $60? See how it feels. Why don't you wash $12? Why don't you share the live? Why don't you make a comment? All right. If you're viewing the live, comment. Let's go. Let's have a conversation. Let's get into it. You know, you're viewing Jesus in a time warp right now. So this is a rare opportunity to get some information. But I was like, okay, my watch is an hour and 50 minutes behind. What else is that behind? Is that showing me that I'm behind? Is the number significant? Everything's always significant, so it is. 150. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of ideas going through my head, a lot of things. But emotionally, I don't know. I woke up and I was like, you know, I was like all like concerned about it. And I think Emily was like, la da 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 da. Oh yeah, it's the what it's this time. I was like, why didn't you? And she was like, I'm just being all like crazy. And I was like, this is serious. Maybe she was just trying to have fun. I don't know, but I was like, you're the time person. Just because you're having fun doesn't mean you don't understand that you can have fun through whatever the issue is. not just like, disregard it for, playing hopscotch or whatever. She didn't listen to me, bro. She's supposed to listen. So, whatever. And I gave yesterday, I'm bullish on Emily, but I was like, that thing just made me feel crazy. I was like, what's going on? Why is the time person? Did you change my watch in the night? And I know she kind of spiritually did. I don't think she literally went on my wrist and changed my watch. That would be weird. But who would? Someone would. It's a great way to fuck with the guy, but like literally, how insane is that? Never leaves my wrist. Changes 2 hours. It's like time stopped, and what I'm wondering is, was it a glitch in the digital matrix, and my watch just knows? My watch was smarter, and my watch is actually the real time, and I've changed it by now. It may have been a mistake. But my watch is actually the real time, and we just skip forward 2 hours because there was something supposed to happen in that 2 hours, or there was a glitch in the matrix. These are the questions I'm asking, and there's some other symbols I don't think you're ready for. Cash.me/$washitall, bit.ly/washitall. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, alright? Now my environment has warmed up considerably. I'm grateful for that. I take that kind of thing pretty seriously. From the desert, I like it to be warm. I like the desert heat. I like the heat on me. I don't like cold. Cold reminds me of death. When I'm cold, I feel like I'm dying. So any part of the country that gets cold really triggers my whole mortality complex. And it takes me to a place of fear. While being hot all the time, I feel strong, and I'm like, I think it's the other way around for like super white people. But me, being a first gen American, being a brown Jesus, being a desert dweller, a camel man, Middle Eastern, from the oily deserts, from being an oil guy, being an oil man. The desert is comforting for me. It never makes me scared. Ooh, my feet. Never really freaks me out at all. But emotionally, I take people to the desert because I'm like, that's where I want to be. Instead of being able to thrive in a kind of cooler environment. Because you look at all the, there's what, besides for California, basically everywhere else in America that has any sort of financial success gets cold. There's no other place. I mean, what? I don't even know. Atlanta still gets cold. But it's like southern cold. It's not really that cold, but besides for California, besides for LA and San Francisco, and San Francisco is cold during the summer. San Francisco is not cold. What did that satanic Mark Twain say? He said the coldest winter I ever experienced was my summer in San Francisco. San Francisco is a hellmouth, though. And Mark Twain is also, let's not talk about Twain right now. But I grew up in Northern California, and I was like itching. Northern California gave me. I was like a confident kid in Northern California, really confident. When I went to preschool, I was like in kindergarten. I was the most popular kid at my preschool and kindergarten. Um, I had like a gang. I think we were like the Leafy Frog gang or something. I had a gang. I had a best friend, and I had like, the kid who's kind of not that cool, but he's like your second in command. You're like kind of helping him out, like giving him a mentorship or something. So it was me, this fucking half black kid named Christian Brown, and this other kid, I don't remember his name, something like Trevor or something. He kind of had like a Neville Longbottom vibe. Totally respectable. He was down for the gang life. So I went to that school. I had a girlfriend in kindergarten, Katie, um, and yeah, it was just a vibe. It was a super vibe. Um, and then by the time, so I was like, and I would just did whatever I wanted. And the school kind of like, they were like, oh, he's so smart, but he's also like rebellious, and they couldn't really. I would like during class just go outside and start playing on the jungle gym and stuff. But then, I'd ask very, informed questions in school, so they didn't know what to make of me. They liked me. Then when I went to Montessori school, and like I said, I was like, I'm like a normal kind of in Northern California. I wasn't, I didn't look weird, you know. There's plenty of Asian, Middle Eastern, just fucking nerdy kids around. So I was like, my best friend on my street um was I think like Iranian or something like that. My best friend at school was Indian when I went to Montessori school, Arun. And I remember he got mad because I started hanging out with this British kid, Peter. And I was like, I just like hanging out with him because he's rich and he's got way more Pokemon cards than you do, Arun. Arun, you're kind of weird. And Arun started getting really mad at me. And then the last time I saw him, he flipped me off at McDonald's. I was like 7 years old, and the dude like sees me from across the McDonald's and gives me the finger. And at that time, that meant a lot. As a 7-year old getting flipped off, that was a big deal. Basically, I don't know. In Northern California, I kind of fit in, grew up there. It was like a vibe. I was like coming up. I went to a Montessori school. Never been the best student, like actually student. I'm smart. I'm not good at classwork or anything like that. Um, I did, but yeah, there was like potential for me to have like a social normal life. And then, just as that was getting started, and I was, I think even at that Montessori school, I had like two girls who were like fighting over me to like be my girlfriend or whatever. Um, yeah, it was just, I don't know. I was like, Northern California was like, yes, you are. This is for you. And my parents had friends with kids, and we would hang out with them. It was like a whole mood. Then we moved to Orange County. So we moved to Orange County because my dad got a job at Ayn Rand Institute. And it was a completely different vibe as a kid, bro. So what, you know, I kind of would rewrite that part. I would rewrite like leaving, but also I don't really want to stay in Northern California because Northern California is evil, and maybe it saved me from becoming like this like tech heir, and maybe my dad would have accepted more evil into his life. He probably would have made more money because just keeping his house in San Jose and flipping it would have made him a ton of money. And maybe being in that area, he would have listened. That was when I was giving him advice about Apple. That was the first time around where I was like, I was in San Jose in 1999 and I knew Apple was going to pop off. So basically, maybe my spidey senses in this place that is so filled with evil and deceit was on fleek. Maybe my spidey senses were going nuts, which is likely. But I was. So I don't know. Like when I've reread this before, I'd be like, because I was actually born in Austin, Texas. What if I just stayed in Austin and was a Texas kid? Austin's fucking crazy too, but it's not Northern California crazy, and it's certainly different than Orange County crazy because Orange County is not like there's another level of decrepit evil going on there. It's just not as elite. It's not elite evil like Northern California. But when I moved to Orange County, I got put in a my dad got the job at the institute, and my whole life was just like they were trying to tailor it around objectivism because my dad's job was now he's going from a professor at Santa Clara University and a dude who owns and operates an equity firm to like the executive, the president um, of the Ayn Rand Institute, executive director of the Ayn Rand Institute, ED. What's the symbolism, bro? He was the executive director of the Ayn Rand Institute. He put me in an objectivist school that was basically a homeschool with, at the time, I believe, had 6 kids in it. 6 kids. So I went from like being like, I don't know, I was still at a small school, but not that small. It was like, and in Northern California, it's like a Montessori school, and it kind of was like hippie leaning. Like we had a teacher named Wanda who like basically tried to trick us all into thinking she was Wanda from the Magic School Bus, which we all kind of believed. It was like, um, it was like very 90s vibe, like good vibes. Like there was like a woman who had AIDS who came by the school to speak to us about like that kind of shit. It was like it was different. It was not where I was going in my life, which was towards like neoconservative like vibes, bro. And I moved to Orange County. I'm in objectivist school. Probably first year on the block, if not like it's either the first year or like the first couple weeks, because it was like would have been the first 2 weeks of school, but I believe that I started school there in 2000, not 2001. I think I started in 2000, not 2001, but 9/11 hits, and then it's just like boom, George Bush, neocon. So basically, with George Bush becoming president, I was now in. No, I was. It was my second year of school because I remember being in Orange County during the Bush Gore runoff that lasted forever. I was in Orange County for that. So that was like a huge transition from 90s to 2000s, from Northern California to Southern California. And Orange County is like the most conservative part of California. So very much changed in that way. Bro, I don't even care. Like moving to Orange County would have been fine. I would just wish they put me in like a school where I could build some social skills. And I'm actually not anti private school. I'm actually pro. I think public schools are stupid. But we don't need to get into all that policy or whatever. But for me, I just felt I was like suddenly I was a loser because all of these Orange County kids have been basically building up all of that kind of vibe, like you're an outcast, like who are the outcast kids, and it was obviously me because I'm like from Northern California. I'm this brown kid. I don't fit in. I don't look the part. I'm old chubby. I'm just not a thing. um while in Northern California, I would totally fit in. So I went from those vibes. Now, if I would rewrite it, I don't even know. I wouldn't even want to be in either places, really. My parents staying in Texas would have been lit. And then, like, me going, and I don't even care. I would have gone to different schools. Because up until 8 years old, there's, I don't know. There were some informative moments in there, things that you probably, parts of the story you can't afford. So let me show you the link again. cash.me/$washitall, bit.ly/washitall. There's things that you can't afford in there, but if I was rewriting it, I would have not picked a satanic hole. I would even say maybe not Austin, Texas. Maybe we moved out somewhere else in Texas. Because Austin's really weird, especially right now. And they're trying to, Texas is going crazy right now. But All the white women in the living room are talking about spiritual presidents for what's bullshit or not. It's very overwhelming to overhear. Um, so how's everyone doing? I'm trying to think where I would have gone. Where would it be was important because I mean, sure, I got wheres in all of the places that I've been, and being raised an Orange County kid gave me some rackets. And I tell you, I didn't really get into it, and there were advantages. Sure, I went to Disneyland a lot. I'm not saying that's an advantage, but that's something kids don't usually get. My mom, that was one thing. My mom was really fucking excited about Disneyland, and I had problems with my mom. I've talked about my mom. She basically was like wanted to go to Disneyland all the time. So we got like a year pass to Disneyland. We probably went like every week or every 2 weeks for like the first year. We just went to Disneyland like 20 times. And it's like that was my mom's way of like bonding with us, was just like we keep going to Disneyland. And I think she was really obsessed with like the fast tracks. She really wanted to game Disneyland, like the way that like she wanted to be in control of Disneyland. So she kept on taking us back to Disneyland. And that's where like I sort of get these memories of my mom being a fun mom, but then there's all these other memories of my mom being like the least fun person on the planet. But then there's like, well, she took me to Disneyland like 30 times. Like that's not normal. So she like had this idea of what like American Mother was supposed to do and supposed to be, but she didn't owe it. I don't know. It kicked in these really like product oriented ways. She's never really down to have like a Disneyland esque experience at home or like talk about, get down into what's going on with you and figure some stuff out and be a sensitive person. She was like, no, we're going to Disneyland like every week. And I don't think I got sick of it because I was a little kid. Like, what? Getting to go to Disneyland over and over and over again, getting to, get the chimichanga. If you've never had Disneyland chimichanga, it's fantastic. So I've been to Disneyland a lot. But I also feel like as foreigner parents, especially for my mom, I think my mom didn't even care that it was us. I think she wanted to go to Disneyland. Being an Israeli and being like, okay, now I'm in Orange County, I'm by this like monument to capitalism, this monument to globalism, this monument to like idol worship. I'm gonna go and take my kids there over and over and over again. So I wish my mom was a little bit less like insane like that. I'm sure as a kid I had no problem with it. I was like, let's go. But I didn't need to go to Disneyland that many times, and I still developed like a gnarly resentment for my mother. So she obviously put her energy in the wrong place, and I think it's because she just wanted to go to Disneyland for herself, and she never really like she was always kind of like on that tip. And that was a little bit like it just didn't smack. It was like I'm like helping my mother go to Disneyland. I remember getting chickened out in the line for the Indiana Jones ride and not riding that ride. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm doing twofers now. I'm going 2 a days. I'm there's a lot to cover this period. So I'll be back tonight. My timing is crazy today. I'm gonna drill down on what that is. Y'all should be sharing, y'all should be commenting, y'all should be putting my Cash App links on things. You should be commenting. Go gorilla on it. Cash.me/$wash it all. bit.ly/wash it all. Make a wash. See what happens. Take a risk. It's going to be great. It's going to work out great for you. I will see you later today. Goodbye.